I'm Mr. Jordan. I'm a teaching artist at 21st Century Elementary in Park Forest, Illinois. This video is part of an online learning initiative by Chicago Arts Partnerships and Education. Today's activity is something that we can all do from within our own homes. We're going to be looking out the window. Now, why is this particular activity special? So we're going to be looking out the window in a couple different ways. You might think there's only one way to look out the window, but in this activity we are going to explore what it's like to look out the window as an artist, thinking about shapes, lines, colors. We're also going to be looking out the window as scientists, thinking about the nature we see, the plants, maybe animals, thinking about how the weather changes. We're also going to be looking out the window, thinking about how everything makes us feel, what it feels like to be inside, how the weather makes us feel, and we're going to do all of this together. So for the rest of the video, I'm going to lead you through my experience of doing the questions. So here we are at the top of the first page, and you can see there are some basic tools required. You won't need any specialized tools for this activity. In fact, you don't even need to print off the instructions. All you'll need is a piece of paper and a writing utensil. You can look at the instructions online and then fill out your answers with drawing or writing on the paper that you have. This activity begins with us choosing a window to look out of. This is what I saw from the window I chose to look out of. Just so you can see what I've done, I've drawn or written my answers along with the instructions. Here I filled out my name, Mr. Jordan, the date which I did my activity on, April 9th, 2020. I provided two different ways that you can write that. I also provided the time of day which I did the activity and the location. I live in the Logan Square neighborhood in Chicago, Illinois. The first 5 questions and prompts are required. This means that we want you to try to fill out the answers to the best of your ability. But remember, this is all about you having fun looking out your window, so there are no wrong answers. Question number 1 is, how are you feeling? When I looked out the window on this day, I was feeling curious and hopeful. Question number 2 is, what is the weather outside? While looking out my window, I observed that it was mostly cloudy outside with some sun shining through. I did a little additional snooping to find out the temperature. I looked it up online and it was about 43 degrees Fahrenheit. Question number 3 is, what direction are you facing? I knew that I was facing west because the street outside my window runs south to my left and north to my right. Number 4 asks you to pick one thing out your window and draw or describe it. I chose to draw a sign on a post with an arrow on the sign. The post is a little crooked. Can you see the sign that I'm talking about? 5 asks you to list the different colors you see outside. I saw a lot of different colors outside. I saw yellow, blue, gray, brown, crimson, forest green, tan, white, black, and silver. I wonder, will there be more colors when the weather gets warmer? Now we get into optional prompts and questions. These do not have to be filled out, but could be very fun if you wanted to explore a little bit more outside your window. Try to draw the colors you see outside. I used markers to draw the colors that I saw. It's okay if the colors aren't matching perfectly, but try your best. How does the weather affect how you are feeling? I wrote that I feel happy when the sun is out, and I feel gloomy when it is gray and cold. If you can open the window, listen for 1 minute. What do you hear? When I listened out my window, I heard a bird and footsteps, an airplane, wind, and a siren. What is the longest continuous line you see outside? Try drawing it. I noticed that the crosswalk line continued all the way down the sidewalk for almost the entirety of what I could see. Can you see the line when I highlighted in yellow? Pretty long line, right? Do you see trees? Do they have leaves? If yes, draw and/or describe one of the leaves. The trees out my window almost look like they have no leaves, but now I see that they have very small leaves. They are green. Look for a plant outside. Track how it changes each day. On this day, the bush on the corner has tiny leaves, like the tree. Can you see the bush I'm talking about? How about when I circle it in yellow? I wonder what it'll look like in a week. Find as many shapes as you can outside. Write and/or draw what you find. I found a lot of different shapes and I decided to draw them all. It was very fun to find all these different kinds of shapes, some which I knew the names of and some which I did not. Draw a map of the room you are in. This is my studio. There's a bookshelf, a record player, the desk that I'm sitting at, my couch, and a pet alligator. Just kidding, I don't have a pet alligator. This is our last optional question for this week's activity. Find the biggest line you see outside and the smallest line you see outside. Write and/or draw what you find. I decided to write what I found. The biggest line is the crosswalk line. The smallest line is a tiny blade of grass that I can't even see. Thank you so much for participating in this week's activity. I hope it's given you some great entertainment as well as some great education as an artist and as a scientist. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Check out Chicago.org for more videos from teachers and teaching artists across Chicago.